May I come, sir?
Please, welcome.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please take seat.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Vishwanath Sharma.
Pawan Kumar Sharma, my father.
Pawan Kumar Sharma. Sorry, Pawan Kumar Sharma. And you are from Rajasthan.
Yes, sir.
Presently working in Gurgaon.
Yes, sir.
What is that organization?
Sir, this is the American-based company, sir, which is working in IT and cloud storage business.
Okay. So now you intend to go for banking.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Particular bank, or you can go to any bank?
Sir, this is basically this post is for SFIO, Serious Fraud Investigation Office.
Okay, SFIO.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So they are recruiting for Assistant Director Banking, sir. Basically for fraud investigation in banking sector.
What is a fraud?
Sir, fraud basically we deceive something or a person cheat another by the.
What are the sections of law which are applied when a fraud is in case?
Okay. So, sir, basically before the Companies Act 2013, in Companies Act there was no clear definition mentioned in fraud. But after the Companies Act 2013, there one section 447 was introduced where it is mentioned the definitions of the fraud, sir.
Okay. When CBI is there, which investigates frauds, why SFIO has been created?
Sir, basically SFIO is created for the corporate fraud, sir. While the CBI can investigate even the individual matters also, sir.
So CBI cannot investigate corporate frauds?
Sir, they can, but after this, the new section has introduced in Companies Act 2013. The section is 212, which constitute the SFIO, Serious Fraud Investigation Office, which gives more power than other the law enforcement agencies. Like the CBI and any other investigation agencies. So basically when any other investigation agencies who are doing a corporate fraud investigation and any corporate frauds, so they will need to handle all these documents or report to the SFIO now.
Do you know about some important corporate frauds?
Yes, sure, sir.
No?
Yes, I know, sir.
Just tell one
Sir, this is the recently the Botany steel fraud, sir, which is also investigating by the SFIO, and the litigation is going on with Supreme Court also. So, sir, Botany steel's fraud is around 52,000 crore fraud, sir. So they have taken the loans from many of the banks, and then they have diluted this fund to the shell companies by tax havens.
What is a shell company?
So shell company are basically the companies which is having presence in the documents only. They don't have any physical presence,
right. And what is that country known for? Harboring shell companies which operate in India.
So basically like the Cayman Island or many of the the countries which support the shell companies.
That island you have mentioned, but one more country which is infamous for
Panama, sir.
Then?
And I'm missing, sir.
Have you heard name Mauritius?
Yes, Mauritius.
They say in one building only there are 1,500 offices of these shell companies. Anyhow, you are aware of that. So tell me, last question. What is a willful defaulter?
Sir, basically the criteria for willful defaulter is that if a person have the sufficient money to pay its loan and interest, but even he is not paying such principal or interest to banks or any other debts like the creditors' debts, so we can consider it a willful defaulter.
I just want to know, you're working for DXC Technology, huh?
Yes, sir.
As a permanent job.
Yes, sir.
And the remuneration are 9,20,000. This is for a year or for a month?
Which amount, sir?
Last salary drawn, 9,20,000.
Sir, this is yearly, sir.
Yearly, right. Now the point is, you are wanting to join the SFIO. What does NIA investigate?
National Investigation Agency.
Yeah.
Sir. Okay. So NIA, sir, I'm exactly not aware, sir.
Money laundering, I've heard about?
Yes, money laundering, sir. Yes.
Can you tell us something about money laundering?
Sir, money laundering, it basically when the any person diluted the money, like the black money we can say, and that they have posted in some outside of the India. So basically this is money laundering, sir.
Talking about corporate frauds, because you have worked for a long time in the corporate world,
Yes.
you must be knowing about Chanda Kocher's case.
Yes, sir.
And I think there are some observations now about the Chanda Kocher's case
Yes, sir. So
that they
basically,
need not have been arrested.
yes,
That's the buzzword.
recently
Yeah. So first, let us know what Chanda Kocher case is.
Okay. So, sir, at that time, the Ma'am Chanda Kochar was the chairman person of the ICICI Bank, and they have given the loan to the Videocon group, and Videocon group also given that some the amount to the husband's firm, Ma'am Chanda Kochar's husband firm, in foreign countries. So basically, the question raised here that they have misused their position here while giving the loan to the Videocon groups.
Now let's take the case of Yes Bank.
Yes, bank. Yes.
And you are there as a CA. In fact, you are there to ensure compliance.
Yes.
Because you have many areas where you mentioned that you are ensuring compliance.
Yes, sir.
What went wrong over the Yes Bank? The way the loans were being disbursed.
Yes, sir. So, sir, basically, Yes Bank, what practice they have used, they have given the loan to those entities to whom any other bank denied the financing. So, these entities approached to the Yes Bank, and the Yes Bank CMD is Rana Kapoor. So, at that time, the Yes Bank followed the practice of taking 25% as a processing fees. So, like if they have processed the 100 crores loan, then they have taken it 20 to 25 crores as a processing fees. So mostly they have taken it as a income, and this practice they have followed while they processing the loan. And in a recent conflict, they have given a loan to a Delhi-based a businessman who is in default on payment of the loan. Then they have taken his personal property. They have taken the property in his family member's name. So the conflict arises here. Instead of the property should be taken over by the bank, they have taken the property should be transferred to his family members.
Now tell me one thing. Do you also know the Satyam case?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What parallels can you draw between the Chanda Kocher? Between the Yes Bank case and the Satyam case?
Okay. So, sir, in Satyam case, basically, they have uploaded the ghost employees, like the employees which are in physical, they have not exist, but in they have diluted the fund in payment of the salaries and all these things. In parallel, the Satyam's founders also have a real estate company which is run by their brothers. So the real estate firm is more stronger than the Satyam's. But later on, when the fraud is revealed, they have written down to the agencies that we are cheat on the balance sheet figures.
And what parallels do you draw between the two cases?
Between Satyam and the
Yes Bank.
Yes Bank.
Any commonality?
Sorry, sir, not exact. I am not aware about.
Have you heard about independent directors in a public listed company?
Yes, independent directors basically.
What was their role?
Sir,
And did they fail in defraying their responsibility?
Sir, basically
in both the cases?
Yes. So, sir, independent directors basically posted by the government institutions many of the times, and they will need to differ from the any other directors from the company, and they have a need to report on the many of the concerns, like whether the company are taking the appropriate actions or follow the legal compliances or not proper way.
You mentioned that they are posted by the government. Are you very sure about it?
Sir, basically the independent
and what is the function of independent director? Whose interest does it guard? The company or the shareholders?
Sir, independent directors mostly like government also appoint. Even the shareholders can also appoint. Sir, I'm not much sure on that. So basically, yes, shareholders can also appoint the independent directors.
They do appoint.
Yes.
Right. Now, so what is the function of independent director, and where did they fail in the Satyam case? And what was the role of the auditors? They also failed in that case. PricewaterhouseCoopers,
Yes, yes.
international.
Yes, yes. Because Satyam's import, they provide the export services many of the countries like USA and all these the IT related services. And auditors definitely they have done their audit work in the as per the prescribed laws, and they have not reported.
What are the prescribed laws?
Prescribed law means as per the standards issued by the institute, ICI institute. So they will need to report on the appropriate times.
Have you heard about Gift City?
Yes, sir. So basically, Gift City is in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, sir. So government is promoting it as an international business center in Gift City. So they have recently constituted a body which IFCAI to promote the international business in Gift City. So basically, many of the international institutions are opening their offices at Gift Cities.
Do you feel that, especially with the incorporation of the Gift City into the Indian fiscal scenario, would that help in what you call people investing through the Gift City rather than investing in tax havens?
Sorry, sir, I can't understand that.
No. See, Gift City has a certain purpose behind it.
Yes.
And many of the Indian companies also, I mean, it's not only Indian companies, so many companies in fact go into tax in Mauritius and in the Panama Islands and in the Barbados and all those places. You're aware of that. It is said that in the Gift City, now once this thing is available, so people will not by and large, they will avoid going to the tax havens because there are certain provisions which help them in what you call in managing tax. I would not say saving the tax, managing the tax. Any idea?
Sorry, sir, I'm not much aware about it.
Acha, you know about the IBC?
IPC?
IBC.
Yes, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, sir.
Quite right.
Basically, IBC was introduced by government in 2016, sir. Earlier, the resolution, the bankruptcy resolutions was taking more time as compared to international standards. So government come with an idea to reduce such a resolution process within a time period. Like in IBC, they have mentioned 180 days time period, and further it can be extended up to 90 days. So the government's main concern is here to reduce the time period and resolve the issue which is related to the bankruptcy.
Now tell me one thing, like you have applied for what you call SFIO and banking, in fact,
yes.
you know. Now the government has written off a large amount of NPA, in fact, in order to make the banks strong.
Yes.
Right? And there are certain allegations against, okay, they have done it this like. Do you agree with this statement, or you have own view on this? I mean, see, banking. So you have to make the bank strong.
Yes.
Now, do you think that the move of the government in the right direction, or there could have an alternative way of looking at things, of doing things?
Sir, basically, the NPA is, we can say it is a bad money in economy. So when the banks in India, we have categorized in two ways, sir, like public sector banks or private sector banks. So the private sector banks work for the profit maximization, and but when we see the public sector banks, they work for the welfare of the peoples, and the government is backend behind the public sector banks, and government also induce the fund in the public sector banks. So when some of the times what happens, sir, government distribute the loan for the welfare of the society, or we can say the welfare of the peoples, like government give loans on agricultures, then for the women's welfare, or all these things. So later on, when the such amount cannot be recoverable by the banks, then after the certain periods like 90 days, it is as per the RBI rules, it will become non-performing asset. So bank will need to report it as a non-banking or bad money in their balance sheet. So it's definitely the government should need to initially they will need to stop such practices, and they will give more pressure on the public sector banks to recover such fund from the distributors. They have given the loan to them.
Now tell me, last question from my side.
Yes.
Byju's we are talking about.
Sorry.
Byju's,
Baiju, yes.
Byju, you have heard about
Yes.
Byju's?
Yes.
And it's in the news of
Yes.
late. When do you feel that the Deloitte as the auditor, they also refused at a certain stage that we are not going to now audit theirs.
Yes.
So the red flag is there.
Yes. Yes.
Now this is one red flag. The auditors are also walking out. What are the other red flags that a company is perhaps indulging into things it should not be indulging in?
Okay. So, sir, Baiju's case, as I have read it here,
No, Byju's, what are the other red flags,
red flags.
Red flag. I hope you understand the concept of red flag.
Yes. Yes, I understand, sir.
मामला गड़बड़ है.
Yes. Yes.
ठीक है.
So basically, red flags means it will eye catcher to the frauds, or we can say when the ratio of something is very much differential when we understand in the balance sheet or P&L terms. So it like sales revenue, if you talk about it. And so up to last year, it was if you see the scenario of the last 4 quarters, it's like 10% growth, and drastically it was in the current year when it will increase like 25% or 30%. So it will be a red flag for the auditor that they will need to go in the sales revenue how it is suddenly increased, and how the revenue how whether they have not record the fictitious revenue in their balance sheet or P&L.
And do you know something about intra-company transaction?
Intra-company transaction.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do you approve of it? Is it as per law?
Sir, basically intra-company transactions are yes, they have done as per the rules and regulations of, like many of the MNC companies have their subsidiaries in, so they have basically do the intra-company transactions.
But how do you ensure that the money that you get from the public, in fact, through the public issues, is not diverted to wrong causes, which is not in the intent and purpose of the company, the intent and purpose of the company for which it has been incorporated?
Mm-hmm. So it is also a due diligence and the compliance part. Whether the company who have gone for the IPO and where we have the company has taken the money from the public. So the audit committee of the company will need to check in detail whether the fund will be used for the purpose what they have borrowed.
Strong auditing, huh? Last question. I'm sorry, I'm exceeding my question. Last question. The Prime Minister had come to a function, in fact, to the function of the auditors, and he made very strong remarks. Not because the politics apart. Let's not get into the issues. Do you think that what he said, or have you taken it in the right spirit? How do you comment on it?
Sir, basically, definitely, many of these CAs are disgrading their professions, but we cannot say the whole institute's body is involved on the fraudster work, sir. So yes, when our prime ministers are doing for the welfare of our country, so as a professionals, it is our responsibility to provide, because the people analyze the growth of a company based on the audit report given by the auditors. So it is their responsibility to present the true and fair view on the balance sheet. So yes, as a professional, it is a moral duty of each and every professional to provide the true and fair view on the financials.
Right. Thank you, sir.
All right, Pawan. How do you indulge into certain hobbies or interests in your spare time?
Sir, basically, during the leisure time, I love to read books, sir, and I love to cook foods, and I also love to do gardening, sir. Gardening.
Okay. So, when you say you love to read books, how many books have you read so far? And what kind of books do you read?
Sir, basically, I have the library of around 500 books, sir, as of now. Initially, I have started my childhood from reading the cartoons. After that, I started like the reading novels, and somehow I read also, sir. also literature, and right now I'm reading many of the books on the frauds related and the banking sector related.
Okay. Do you also read some literature
Yes, I have read, sir.
like?
Like sir, Shivaji Samant, sir, Martyunjay I have read. Then I have read there Yugandhar, Chhawa, Premchand I have read, sir. Saratchand I have read, sir.
So you prefer Hindi or English books or mix?
Initially I have started with Hindi, but now I have shifted to English also, sir.
Okay. Which is the latest one that you read?
On literature, sir.
No, later any book.
Sir, I'm reading a book on the one book on the RBI's former governor, Sir D. Subbarav's book, Wo Moved My Interest Rate. Wo is moved your interest rate.
Okay.
D. Subbarav's books.
A lot of people evade tax in our country. A lot of people evade tax.
Yes.
So what steps would you recommend to the government in addition to the ones that are already prevalent? Anything else that comes to your mind?
Okay. So basically, sir, as a professional, it is my moral duty to give the opinion to each and every taxpayer that they will honestly feel their taxation, and they do not take the refund which they have paid the money to the government. So this is the first part, and and the second thing is,
But if the refund is legitimate, then
legitimate they can claim, sir.
Yeah.
Well, but on the basis of fictitious document, they do not need to.
can you give me an example?
The school children's fees receipt, sir.
Okay.
They can take the excess fees from the schools, like receipts, and they can claim.
How can school give additional amount of?
They can make fictitious, sir. On the duplicates can also be prepared with the
Okay.
help of online tools.
Okay. So you only can advise them. What
So
measures you will recommend to the government? What is that?
to government, sir,
Any one point at least.
okay. May take some time, sir. For
Okay, think about it. You said common man is helped and bailed out and things like that.
sorry, sir.
When they take a loan from the bank
Okay.
and then it is waived off or
Yes.
written off
Yes.
to relieve them
Mhm.
of the agony they go through by not having paid or whatever reasons.
Mhm.
What about the people like middle class people who take a loan for a car or a scooter, motorcycle, and then they're not able to pay? There are too many people to bother them. They get too many notices and messages, and there's too much of harassment, and even it is taken back.
Sir, definitely the bank are doing stringent action taken against these peoples, and most of the private banks started to recover their amount.
Now, let's talk of SBI. At one end, they are waiving off to a certain category of people. At another end, they are very stringent about it.
Sir, basically, we can see the difference. They have taken the loan for car, like it is not the basic necessity for them. But when we see the government giving the loan to some to poor people for their livelihood, so this is the basic difference, sir.
Now, even with the housing loan, a common man takes housing loan, not able to pay a few EMIs, and there's a lot of problem he faces.
But sir, the bank are also can recover their loan by selling these properties on.
That's what I'm saying. So there you're taking away their properties because he is defaulted and not paid for 3, 4, 5, 6 installments. And here you are willing to write off lakhs of crores of rupees for both categories, for very high, for the millionaires and for the poor people. What about the middle class? What is the relief for them?
Exactly not.
Okay. Tell me one good strength that will help you in perform your task in the job that you're looking for.
Sir, basically, I can work in the poised environment, sir. In poised environment, like in pressurized environment, I can work for even Saturday, Sundays also. There is not a barrier for me.
You can work for long hours.
Yes.
So basically, you have the capacity to endure stress and strain for protracted period of time. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, sir.
You can sustain, endure stress and strain for a long period of time.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
The mental stamina Are you referring to that?
Sir, basically, the stamina is also I can.
I'm not talking of physical stamina,
Okay.
mental stamina to endure stress.
Not 20 hours, sir, but as per the work requirement, I can work on more of the times.
Okay. Let me give a situation to you. You come late from office, and as you're saying that you can work for long hours, and if that is your way of looking at things, what will your wife say? And she gets upset on it, what will you do?
Sir, office as well as home both I can manage
But then
because
you said you can work for very long hours and continue for working many hours.
sir, I also worked with the National Pension System Trust. It is also a government body, sir, which is settled by PFRDA, sir. So at that time we have worked, and Saturday, Sunday is permanently off. So on Saturday, Sunday we can manage the.
Okay, let's take a situation. You are late and you're late for 5 days consecutively and your wife is upset. Now what will you do?
So,
You're returning home around 9 o'clock.
sir, it's a normal tendency. I honestly say the managers I have worked with in NPS trust, the people are work like they are working in private sector. Sir, I have seen that much of dedication to those my managers.
You're
So,
coming late and your wife. Tell me about that.
sir, I can convince him that my work is related to this, and I need to spend more time on my work.
So you can do whatever you feel like. So you can do whatever you feel like.
Not, sir. I can also manage my house related work, and she is also understand my.
How will you placate her? She might be furious.
Sir, I will explain the works environment and the point of the office environment situation, and it is not in 365 days, sir. So somehow for 1 month or 2 months she can understand it.
Okay. What is your highest achievement so far in life?
Sir,
High point in life.
sir, I can say my children, sir. I love them very much, and my daughter is 2 years old, and I have. I especially pray to God that the God give me the daughter. So this is my achievement, that my children are the biggest achievement.
And the saddest day in your life? Saddest day.
Okay. That is demise, sir, my uncle on 35 age, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You know, love for books.
Yes, yes.
What is that finally you have lesson that you have drawn? What gives you pleasure? Why you read books?
Okay. So, sir, basically, someone they have said that the books are the true friends, and they give much knowledge. When you read, you got a satisfaction in your mind as well as your in feelings, in your opinion. So whenever we read a book, so it's like we have a conversation with the person who are studying it.
So you have great knowledge. What is next higher virtue than knowledge?
Okay, after that, this, sir.
Knowledgeable man. Very good. But what else?
Sorry, I can't understand.
Knowledge is an excellent, ideal one should have. But there is higher than knowledge, next level of virtue, I can say.
We can say, sir, adhyatam or something.
Pardon?
Adhyatam, religious adhyatam.
Or somewhere we can say wisdom.
Wisdom.
Knowledge should lead to wisdom.
Wisdom.
I just want to ask you because that thing had cropped up. In fact, that you read books, and we're also discussing about loans. In fact, coming up from Sir was asking you about loans now. Tell me one book of Raghuram Rajan in which he has talked about the housing bubble in US and the worldwide.
Sir, Raghuram Rajan's books, I have not read. They are in my reference list.
Yeah, read that on fault lines, etc.
Recently, their books is coming.
No, but since we're talking loans, I mean, it should be more linked to your profession and also to this thing. So try to read that fault lines.
Definitely,
right.
I will do, sir.
Now, so we are over with the interview. So now I think the interview is over. You are a very good candidate, in fact, and you have been able to mention. I was finding a lot of questions, in fact, to see your depth of understanding of issues. So you do understand. But I like, when is the interview, by the way?
Sir, most probably in March end.
In March. So now you have been, we are talking one range to another range, but do prepare on that. Accountancy, etc. But get to the practical aspects. You also try to know something about what the CBI investigates and what the NIA does and what SFIO and why was there a need for creation. Sir will be,
Yes.
We'll talk on this count. In fact, he will be there. But apart from that, corporate frauds, you must know about corporate frauds. You must know about what ails the banking sector, the fintech, etc. I mean, the different dimensions. And you are from the profession, in fact, especially you have an auditor and you are a chartered accountant, all those things, And so you have been able to by and large answer. But I'll suggest that being a good candidate, you need to have very sharp answers now. I hope you'll be able to get it.
Thank you, sir.
Whatever the issues are, then of course some taxation also, and then of course some economics, then of course what the RBI does, the lendings, the lending rates,
Okay.
right? And then of course what the Fed is doing and how they're going to control inflation, etc. Because everything is linked to each other.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there are vast number of issues, but be on the practical orientation because an auditor has to do it.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
And then of course, especially we're talking about the frauds also. I mean, you need to slightly be more deep into that. All of a sudden when we're talking about the independent director and you started, you're not very confident about that. So you see how the mechanism works, because ultimately it's a lot of money and it's all public money. That's why they call it a public limited company, and a lot of there has to be tremendous hope in the financial system, and that is why you are going to be inculcated into the banking, into the SFIO as an assistant director of banking.
Yes.
And banking is an area where perhaps it can devastate the economy if it's not done in the right direction. In fact,
Yes.
I hope you better understand.
Most
So you think in those lines. Well, I'm coming to SFIO. I'm going to contribute to the functioning of the sector in a very positive manner. Once that fundamental is clear, you'll be able to get the questions also. You'll be able to get the answers also, right? Thank you so much.
Yeah.
If you could be precise with your answers, lamba answer nahi dena. Like for example, one example I'll give you. Your wife getting upset with you. You say, I'll explain my compulsions and I'll explain to her that this is the way life is. And I care for you still.
Sure.
Finished. Huh? Short answer dena. Thank you.
I feel you'll do well, but you are not correct on one particular thing which sir asked you. Money laundering. Please go through PMLA Act. It is not about black money. It is about crime money. There is difference between black money and crime money. Most people in India, including very senior officers in the IAS, also they give example that black money, when it is laundered, it is called money laundering. It is not black money. Black money is what you are not paid tax. That is black money. Where this is crime money. You committed some murder or something,
Yes.
drug trafficking or something like that. All those acts are mentioned in the PMLA Act. So if a case has been registered by the police or CBI or any investigating agency, again in respect of those acts, then second case is registered by the ED, Enforcement Directorate, and nothing to do with black money. Though it looks like money laundering, it means black money. The difference between black money and crime money, which is mentioned in the Act itself. What is crime money? And wish you very best.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you. I have some.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm LLB honors qualified also. So whether I mentioned them that I'm to board that.
It's good. I think that will add to your thing that you are LLB also.
Because at the time of
And
filling,
if you are LLB, then the acts and
yes,
you will have deeper knowledge, better
different,
knowledge.
different.
आपने लॉ कहाँ से किया आपने?
MD University Rohtak.
अच्छा.
Basically, at the time of application filing, sir, I'm pursuing, so I cannot mention it.
नहीं, कोई भी चीज जो आपने की है, that is feather in your cap. But then there can be question on law related matters.
If you feel very confident, then mention. Otherwise, देख लीजिएगा जैसा होगा तो प्रश्न तो कर ही लीजिए.
और कोई चीज पूछे तो बताइए. आगे होके नहीं बताइए मैंने LLB भी किया है, मैंने वो भी किया है.
पढ़ी रही.
If it is there in your CV, it's okay. If it is not there, then you said, sir, मैंने ये भी किया, वो किया. That is, I think, not considered in my view.
Because you open up another area.
आप अपने आप को और भी बता रहे हो.
Too many questions from there.
If question is there, you can. Suppose some way it comes out, sir, since I have done LLB, I have something. Then बात अलग है. फिर तो नए लॉज जो आए हैं
हाँ
उनके बारे में मालूम है, कब से इफेक्टिव हो रहे हैं, उसमें भी फ्रॉड के बारे में है, उसमें डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ पनिशमेंट्स एंड लॉट मेनी चेंजेस आर देयर व्हिच आई होप यू हैव गॉन थ्रू,
यस आई हैव गॉन थ्रू।
है ना? क्या चेंजेस हैं नए आईपीसी सीआरपीसी एविडेंस एक्ट में, एटलीस्ट फंडामेंटल 10 और 15 इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स, इफ नॉट एवरीथिंग।
तो सर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन भी कवर करना चाहिए कि मतलब अगर हम
यार कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन तो ऐसी चीज है, एवरीथिंग
आधारशिला
फ्लोज
है।
थ्रू दैट,
हाँ,
बेसिक थिंग
everything
एवरी
is
इंडियन
like
शुड नो, आई फील if anyone has desire to be a good citizen also of India, he should know constitution. Without knowing constitution, one cannot be a good citizen also of India.
yes
That's what I feel, human being also.
There's a book by Pali Nariman, in fact, since correct you're mentioning about 500 books. Do you have that book by Pali Nariman? You know, you should know your constitution, or you ought to know your
yeah
constitution.
Nariman sir I have listened about this book sir.
तो अगर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की
कई
बात
है,
लाना चाहते, बहुत सारी किताब है ना,
10 judgments that changed India,
Yeah.
again written by him also. In case you have it, read. अब can't have जो भी है.
You can't go through everything, but since you mentioned, तो हो सकता है कि law. So the best policy would not to divulge until unless being specifically asked.
It will open a
Because
new
he'll
area.
open up a big chapter where he's likely to get trapped. इनका यही सर बहुत ज्यादा है इनके पास अकाउंटेंसी में
ये बैंकिंग रिलेटेड एक चीज मालूम है आपको, सत्यम इज अगेन इन द मार्केट
Satyam,
in a big way. Satyam, which he asked.
yes sir Mahindra take over the Satyam at that time, but Supreme Court verdict is still pending with Satyam case sir.
That may be the reason.
Thank
I wish you very best.
you sir.